Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of rokrbox TV. My name is Josh Cunningham. I'm the founder and CEO here at rokrbox. I've got another great guest for you today. It's actually a return guest. We had Noah St. John, who most of you may know him as the father of affirmations or the mental health coach to the stars. We actually had him on rokrbox TV a couple months ago and did a real quick interview with Noah. And we actually had a lot of our audience reach out and say, "Hey, I want to learn more. I want to hear some more of this guy's teaching." So like I said, Noah's a really great friend of mine. How's it going today, Noah?
Oh, it's going great, Josh. Great to be here again.
Yeah, thanks for taking time out of your day to come back on the show. But like I said, we had a lot of our audience actually reach out and say, "Hey, I like what that guy was talking about. Very interesting stuff. Is there a way I can learn more?" And so I actually bribed Noah to come back on the show and say, "Hey, man, will you actually like crack open the playbook here and give us a glimpse into all this stuff and teach us some of these secrets that you've been teaching all these, being the mental health coach of the stars and being the father of affirmations?" So he agreed. So guys, buckle up, get your notepads and pens ready. We've got an incredible instructor today to share with you some of the wonderful secrets to success. So Noah, why don't you take it over, man? How's it been going? It's been a couple months since we caught up. What's going on?
Yeah, well, it's great, Josh. I mean, we're off to an amazing start here in the year and this new year. So helping a lot more people these days, and just great to be here with you again. So if it's okay, I'll go ahead and share my screen. I just have a few slides that I wanted to show because we want to, as you stated, we want to go deep there. Can you see my slides there?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, great. All right. So actually, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. Basically, my superpower is I help entrepreneurs, experts, coaches, students, retirees, really anybody make more in just 12 weeks than they made in the past 12 months while gaining 1 to 3 hours a day and 4 to 8 weeks per year. So this is not about the hustle and the grind and work, till you're dead. It's actually the opposite of that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But as we're getting started, people ask me, is this opportunity for you? Well, it's for people who are tired of the 9 to 5, want to escape the rat race. It's for people who already have a business, but looking for new income streams. Mm-hmm. Also, maybe you're looking for a side business that you can do part-time, or stay-at-home parents, retirees looking for extra income, or just anyone seeking the lifestyle of an online business. That's who I really work with. And, people ask me all the time, well, no, if this is so great, why are you showing it to us, right? I mean, if this is so great, why don't you just keep it to yourself? Why wouldn't you do that? Well, the truth is, I'm looking for partners right now, meaning I'm looking for people that I can really help to grow as we grow. We're up 300% from last year, our own, internal numbers. So we're looking for people who we can help grow, like that. And there's an old saying, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. A lot of people, unfortunately, Josh, as you know, are facing, really hard times right now, tough times. Well, here at Success Clinic, my company, we're doing pretty well. We just bought this new home a year ago. It's a 6,000 square foot home here in Northeast Ohio. Our clients lovingly call it Success Manor, and it's pretty awesome. But there's a lot of companies out there that are really facing tough times, not just individuals, but I mean, these are multi-million, billion-dollar companies that have gone bankrupt as a result of the pandemic. So, just real quick about who I am, who's Noah St. John. Some of you probably don't know me, but this is basically just a little short synopsis of me. I grew up poor in a rich neighborhood. I know that's a total cliche, but I grew up in a little town called Kennebunkport, Maine, which is one of the wealthiest communities in New England. But my family was dirt poor. As you can see in this picture, we lived at the bottom of a dirt road in a drafty, unfinished house that my parents ended up losing to foreclosure. So from a very young age, I was painfully exposed to the gap, the chasm between the haves and the have-nots. The haves was everyone else in the community. The have-nots was my family. And so I hated that life of poverty, fear, lack, not enoughness. That's what I grew up with. But I saw that right down the street, there's great wealth and abundance. So I said, how the heck do I get from here to there? Mm-hmm. And so, I'm basically, they call me the nerdiest nerd in the industry, the Sheldon Cooper of self-help. Do you remember that show? And so I did what all nerds do. And I just went to the library and started reading every book that I could, to how to succeed, success, and self-help, Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, the classics, right? Oh, yeah. And I really, really tried to put them to work. And I really couldn't get them to work. And I went through a whole lot of stuff. I'm really condensing here. But basically, in 1997, I had 2 epiphanies that really changed my life. And I discovered really what was missing in traditional success literature, what all those gurus are talking about, but what they're not saying, what they're really, frankly, what's missing in traditional success literature. And it was like these 2 real aha moments that really changed my life. So I started my company, successclinic.com, in a 300 square foot basement apartment.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, there I am, right there.
Nice.
Literally 300 square feet. I mean, smaller really than the room that I'm in right now, my office. And, $800 in a book on HTML. So I literally had no money, no marketing, no sales, no business experience, nothing really. But I just had one thing, which was a deep burning desire to make a difference, to make an impact, to help people around the world, as cliched as it sounds. But I really ended up spending a lot of money on a lot of really bad advice. And so, I paid a lot of gurus, a lot of money. And in 2007, so 10 years later, I ended up $40,000 in debt, and I had to move back into my parents' basement. So literally I went basement number 1 in 1997 to basement number 2 10 years later, right?
Yeah.
And $40,000 in debt. And that's like, a lot of people would have given up. In fact, my parents said, no, maybe you should get a job, maybe you should think about doing something else. And of course, they meant well, but I just couldn't do it. I said, no, I have a dream, and I know that I've got to do something different, because isn't it true? We all know the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing, expecting different results. And also, everything you desire is on the other side of fear. So I knew that I was really scared to do something different, like we all are, right? Nobody really wants to do anything different. But this phrase that I've kind of become known for, when you find your why, you'll find the way. And so, meaning when your why to is strong enough, you find the way. And so I made that one decision that changed everything for me. I hired my first real business coach. Now, he was very expensive, but I really, I found the why to, right? I didn't have the money, but because my why to was so strong, I found the money, right? And so, that's when everything turned around for me, Josh. It was really, that was the turning point for me, speaking all around the world, becoming a best-selling author, meeting my beautiful wife, and paying cash for our Caribbean honeymoon to Barbados and other places. And literally, nice. I went and, I became a best-selling author for the first time. So I literally went from basement to bestseller to Barbados in just 24 months.
Wow.
Using the system. So now
and that was because you sought out some experts who had been there, who had done that, who could kind of pave the way and show you what to do.
Well, I mean, I got a lot of bad advice first, but then when I hired that one real business coach, that was the turning point for me. So it was stopping doing what all those internet marketers and all those guys are saying, and really just getting to where it's simple, right? Simple is the ultimate sophistication. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
And so now, 15 books in 18 languages. Actually, my 16th book is coming out later this year. And really, we've helped our clients add over $2 billion in sales, meaning we've helped people to add 6, 7, and even 8 figures to their business. I'm very blessed to have, people like Gary Vaynerchuk, John Assaraf, Stephen Covey, Jenny McCarthy, Jack Canfield, Marie Forleo. I mean, a lot of celebrities who really endorse my work. But really, what does this mean for you, for everyone watching? It really means that if it worked for me, it can work for you too. I mean, somebody who came, basement number 1 with $800 in 1997, 10 years later, basement number 2, $40,000
negative 40,000, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's like, come on, you can't get a lot lower than that, right?
Yeah.
So if it worked for me, it really can work for
anybody. That's quite the story. Yeah.
It's all true, and it's amazing. So if you've been struggling, for those folks watching, this could be why. It's probably why, in fact, because they told us this is what I spend all this money on, right? I call it shelf help, a lot of shelf help books, right? You buy a book, or you buy a course, you buy a program, or even go to a live event and you take a lot of notes, right? And then you just put it on the shelf and you forget about it, right? And then you go to the next thing of this, and you're just on this treadmill, right? Seminars, courses, gurus. I mean, literally, I spent, between $100,000 and $500,000 and more, not to mention how many years it takes. Because, losing money always hurts. It sucks. But losing time is far, far worse, isn't it? Because why? Time you can never get back, right?
Yep.
Money you can get back, but time, we can't. And so, today, what I'd love to show you is how to do it in the next 90 days or less. Really, it doesn't have to take years and years like it took me. You can get there a heck of a lot faster when you follow the right formula and you have the right tools and the right support in place. So, this is what I call, the forgotten wealth secret, how I help my clients make more in just 12 weeks than they did in the last 12 months by shifting the one thing that fixes everything. It's actually true that one thing can fix everything for you. In fact, one of my clients years ago, he said, Noah, do you realize your coaching is the only coaching that fixes every other coaching? And I said, yeah, that is kind of true, isn't it? I hadn't thought of it that way, but it's kind of neat. So, would you agree with this statement? And Josh, since, it's just you and me right now, and of course, people watching, but information alone does not create change. Would you agree with that statement?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why would you say that is? I mean, I have an opinion, of course, but why would you say that information?
You got to take action. I always say there is no try. You either do or you don't. So you got to get out there and take action.
That's right. But what's interesting about that is everybody knows that, don't they? They say, well, I got to take action. But so what I teach, and one of the reasons I help people make so much money is I teach why you're not taking action. In other words, why you're not doing the very thing you should be doing. Right.
Yep.
Because everybody knows that, of course, like you just said, it's action. Well, then what causes inaction? All right. So that's what I teach, really. And so, here's what doesn't fix this. What doesn't fix it is guru hopping, as I mentioned, shelf help, doing all these different online courses, live events. Ironically, even goal setting doesn't do it. Vision boards don't do it. Years of therapy won't do it. Now, I'm not putting down therapy. I mean, I was in therapy for a long, long time when I was trying to figure out, why am I here? What's my purpose? Endless YouTube videos, right? People just sit there watching YouTube videos, hoping that's going to do it. That's not going to. And really, ironically, working really, really hard doesn't do it either. When you're younger, I think, we've all heard the phrase, well, the secret to success is hard work. That's not true. My father, I'll give you a great example. My dad works really, really hard. He never became successful. He never became really successful. He only works really, really hard. So that's not the answer either. So what's really holding you back is really what I call when we want to go from where we are to where we want to be. It's kind of like this picture here on the screen, going from what I call your current perceived reality to your new desired reality. What's your current perceived reality? That's where you think you are right now. We all think we are where we are, right? And guess what? When you believe it, you make it true. And so your new desired reality is that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? But what's between where you are and where you want to be? Well, psychologists actually call it cognitive dissociative conditioning. Try to say that 5 times fast, right? So I actually coined a term to make it a heck of a lot easier. And I just simply call it head trash, right? I have a book here that I've written. Well, I've written all these books back here. But anyway, I call it head trash. So I wrote this book called Get Rid of Your Head Trash About Money, right? So head trash is really what is keeping so many of us from reaching our pot of gold. Now, head trash is not just negative thoughts, doubting yourself. It's not just saying I can't do it or having a rough childhood, like, many of us had, having been in bad relationships, like many of us have, been in bad marriage, which some of us have, right? And believe it or not, it's actually deeper than that. So here's what won't fix it. Everything that I just showed you, right? You're trying all these different things and it's just not really working, right? So in other words, what I want to tell everybody here, it's not your fault. If you've been trying all those different things, just like I was doing, it's not your fault, because what they're doing with those things is they're treating symptoms and not causes, right? So what I often ask my clients is, well, listen, when you only treat symptoms and you don't treat causes, what is actually the result of that? So Josh, what would you say to that?
Yeah, you're not going to get the end result that you're looking for. It's the habits themselves that's getting you to the destination.
That's right. It's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on someone who's having a heart attack, right? It's like, hey, do you feel better now? It's like, no, I don't really feel better, right? Because that's why my clients succeed in a big way, because what we do is we focus on removing the causes of head trash, not merely symptoms. Because, everybody out there talks about symptoms. But really, when you work at the causes and then remove the cause, well, then obviously the symptoms actually just disappear on their own. Here's a great example. Mike is a client of mine. He had spent $50,000 on a bunch of shelf help before coming to me. He hired me as his coach. He doubled his income in just 6 weeks. Then he invested $10,000 to attend my private mastermind. Well, then he doubled his income again. So he literally doubled it and then doubled again in just 12 weeks. All right. Wow. So that's just one example, right? And he'd spent a lot of money too. So the point is, what I always tell people when I give examples and I, show real stories of real people, my clients, people that I've worked with, I always tell people to say, listen, I want you to start saying this. If it worked for them, why not me? Because what a lot of people do is they say, oh yeah, well, it won't work for me, right? Mm-hmm. It won't work for me. Well, that's exactly, guess what? Your head trash. That is a great example of your head trash. Oh, that's why it won't work. Why don't you start changing those beliefs, right? This is something you could do right now today. Right? That's literally, you can start doing that right now. Okay. So that's my first secret is, how I help people do that. Now, what my second secret that, I love to share is what we call the wrap factor method. How anyone can do this, even if you don't know where to start, even if you've failed in the past. Right. And this is literally the one thing that fixes this problem 100% of the time. Like I was telling you, my client said, your coaching is the only coaching that fixes every other coaching. Mm-hmm. Right. And we do it using my wrap method. And no, I'm not going to rap for you right now, even though I do that. But RAP stands for Rapid Abundance Programming. Rapid Abundance Programming. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, it's not life coaching. It's not goal setting. It's not another online course or seminar. It's not vision boards. It's not therapy. And it's not chatting and affirmations in the mirror, right? I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me. No.
People like me. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So what it is really, it's my proprietary 3-phase method to identify and remove any and all head trash that's keeping you and your business or your career or even your health, your relationships stuck. Because remember, your head trash can affect a lot of different things, not just money, not just your business, but really a lot of different things, right? So, and that means so you can make more in the next 12 weeks than you did in the last 12 months. All right. So let me give you another example. Can I play this video real quick here?
Go right ahead.
And this is Stephen here, and I think it'll be pretty obvious what happened for him.
My business is up about 800% since we got started working with Noah St. John. And one of the reasons that we wanted to build an online business, which we're actually just beginning as a result of our work with Noah, is so that at some point I can transition out of the consulting space and into our own online digital business where we're going to be coaching and helping individuals. He has a consistent brand across the board, from his online presence to his in-person presence. It's everything that you're doing with Noah. It has the same message. You can do this. Simple and easy. There is no silver bullet, but he gives you a step-by-step approach, and you know without a doubt that you can do what you want to do if you're following this program.
So
nice.
I mean, I don't know if anybody would be happy with 800% increase, in 12 weeks, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Anyways, and again,
I'll
just reiterate, if it worked for them, why not me? That's what I want people watching this to keep saying and repeat that rather than, oh, it won't work for me because, right? That's an example of head trash. All right. So now let me show you how I can help you get off to a fast start. So you can literally start implementing this immediately. Okay. So I call it my ATM method, right? ATM, we're all familiar with those, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
Well, here in my business or in my work here, our company, Success Clinic, we like to call it the automatic transformation method, right? Automatic transformation method. So the one thing that's holding you back, as I showed you earlier, going from your CPR, your current perceived reality, to your NDR, your new desired reality, that's your pot of gold, right? Is what I call your head trash, right? In fact, let me just give you real quick here the top 10 head trashes that will keep you and your business, your career, it'll keep you stuck, right?
And really, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, it really comes down to these top. Now, of course, there's others, but these are, I've been doing this a long time, Josh. Yep. So these are the things that come up over and over again. So here's the first one: is it's not the right time, right? It's not the right time. And I always say to people, well, when is the right time? Do you think it was the right time for me to hire a business coach who was very expensive when I was $40,000 in debt, working on my parents' basement? Everything, my parents, everybody was saying, don't do it. Don't do it. It's too risky. It's not the right time. And I said, you know what? There's no such thing as the right time. That does not exist, right? That's just a myth. Right? Thinking that the right time will somehow come along. It just doesn't exist. How about I need to think about it? What do you need to think about exactly? That you want to keep holding yourself back for a while? I mean, it doesn't really make any sense when you look at it that way. Of course, number 3 is I don't have the money. Right. And so here's what I want people to realize is I've never worked with a client who didn't tell me that their head trash wasn't costing them at least $10,000 each and every single month. Right. So think about this. If you're, kind of maybe vibing with this or can relate in any way and saying, gee, maybe my head trash might be holding me back a little bit, saying that I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart, whatever it might be. It's just basically, I can't do it because, and then you've just fill in the blank. Well, how much is that costing you? Easily $5,000 to $10,000 a month, not, a lifetime. That's every month. That's $120,000. That's 6 figures a year, right? So saying you don't have the money is actually, you're lying to yourself. It's the fact that the head trash is actually costing you right now. This won't work for my business. Really? I mean, number one, I've worked with so many different industries and so many different people. I mean, literally over the last 25 years, dozens of industries. But really, the fact is that let me give you an example. I've helped people make millions of dollars in real estate, but I don't teach you how to make money in real estate. I teach you how to stop stopping yourself from making money in real estate, right? I've helped people make millions and millions of dollars in network marketing. I don't teach you how to make money in network marketing. I teach you how to stop stopping yourself from making money in network marketing. Does that make sense? And so that's what we're really doing. Of course it will work. Last time I checked, wherever you go, there you are, right? So it doesn't matter what you do. My spouse won't let me do it. There's another great head trash, isn't it? Right? Do you think your spouse wants you to be unhappy and unsuccessful? They want you to succeed. And so for all the women, I always say, men love money. Just talk to them about the money. And for you men, you just say, you talk about the time, right? Because women want to spend more time with you. I'm speaking in generalities, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Both men and women love time and money,
Yeah.
right? But that's the point, is you've got to understand to speak your partner's language, and then they can actually will support you. I've seen it happen hundreds of times. Number 6, this is too complicated. What's complicated about head trash? What's complicated is probably what you're doing right now. What we actually do is simplify everything. That's why, like Stephen, I mean, one of the things we did was he was trying all these different things. And we just said, just cut through the clutter, boom, up 800% in
Nice.
12 weeks. I'm not tech savvy, myth. I mean, what are we talking about here? We're talking about inner game. We're talking about the things that affect us on an inner level. We're not talking about, you have to watch Photoshop tutorials all over the place. No, you don't have to do it. In fact, again, you're going to be doing less and making more. I can't stay focused. Oh man, this is so popular nowadays. And you know, one of the reasons for that, Josh, is because we have what I call IDDs at our fingertips every minute. IDD, that stands for the infinite distraction device. These are infinite distraction devices, right? And they're at our fingertips. Now, of course, they're great tools, but they're also great for keeping ourselves distracted. And that's a great way to procrastinate. And that's a great way to stay stuck.
I don't know if you know this, Noah, but we actually at rokrbox make our callers lock up their cell phone before they clock in and go to work, just because we know, I mean, it's just a distraction. You know, we got to stay focused. We got to stay attentive and keeping our eyes on the prize. So
that's a great example. That's perfect, right?
Yep.
And then number 9 is I don't want to work so hard. Me neither. I'm a lazy bastard, just like everybody, right? I don't want to work hard. That's why I did all this stuff, so I don't have to work hard either. And you know, head trash number 10 is I'll just figure it out on my own. And you know, maybe you can, but I mean, if you're just sitting there watching YouTube videos, I mean, you could just watch, you know, how to make money videos on YouTube for the next 10,000 lifetimes and still never really figured out, because there's so much garbage out there, isn't there? You know, there's so much, you know, what's a nice way to say that? Lying sociopaths. There's just a lot. You know, it's just not good, right? And I mean, again, I'm a great example of that, of how I spent all that money on all those guys for all those years, and it didn't get me anywhere. So really, you don't want to try to figure it out on your own. Don't make the same mistake that I did and just try to keep figuring it out. So as I mentioned, you know, 100% of my clients have told me their head trash was costing at least $10,000 a month when we got started working together. So again, just do the math. That's 6 figures a year. That's what it's costing you right now. So for everyone watching, how much do you think your head trash is costing you right now? I mean, just conservatively, $5, $10, maybe $20,000 if you are holding yourself back. And again, I want you to realize nobody does this on purpose, right? All of this is in what we call the subconscious level, right? Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, wow, this looks like a great day. You know what? I think I'm going to hold myself back from success today.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever say that, right? Because that's a conscious thought. But see, the human mind is just like an iceberg. There's only about 5% that's in the conscious mind. The rest, the vast 95% is in the subconscious, like an iceberg, right? And as I always say to my clients, it wasn't the part of the iceberg that they could see that sunk the Titanic. Yep. It was the part that they didn't see. That's what sunk the Titanic. And that's what sinks all of us, isn't it? Right? And so that's really true. So the fact is, the great news is when we take out your head trash, it's not just the money that changes, really. It's everything. This is what we call our wall of fame, you know, and we just literally have hundreds and hundreds of stories. I mean, over the last 25 years, I mean, there's just nobody. I've had a lot of people say, Noah, I don't know of any other coach or teacher in this industry who has the testimonials and case studies that you do. And I'm like, well, I don't either. You know, I mean, because, you know, April got her dream car, you know, 6 months ago, she thought she could never do it. Scott doubled his income, doubled his time off. Kathy doubled her business in 60 days. Brandon, 560% increase. We've also got celebrities like Gary Vee, Marie Forleo, Fabrizio Mancini, Jenny McCarthy, also weight loss. You know, there's Rob and many others. Brittany did 8 figures literally. So, I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Wow.
So what was my total investment to learn all this? Well, as I mentioned, I had to spend more than $500,000 literally on all those, you know, so-called gurus out there, all those clowns. And 20 years, it literally took me more than 20 years. So what this means for you is you don't have to go through the pain, the torment, the agony, really, that I did. You know, as long as you get this, as long as you take out your head trash, which, you know, we'll show you how to do that. So just imagine, just picture yourself, 12 weeks, 12 months from now, even when you have taken out your head trash, you get the guidance, the processes, so you can embrace your unique genius and really take a quantum leap in your life. So, spending more time with your family, making more money, taking those vacations, whatever that might look like for you. This is Bill. He was successful but dissatisfied. He was tired of the hustle. He felt bored, and unfulfilled, really. He'd spent tens of thousands of dollars on all those guys. Can I just play this real quick video for you? Because this is really inspiring from Bill here.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bo White, and I've got a little story to tell. When I first met Noah, I was just getting started in commercial real estate. I knew I had to do something with my head trash, get rid of my subconscious self-limiting beliefs. Noah showed me the way. My career took off, and I'm now at the $200 million level, and we're working on multi-billion-dollar hotel deals and multi-billion-dollar portfolios as we speak. And I'm now a partner with a financial advisor to elite professional athletes, and it's been a great ride, and our success is directly because of what I learned from Noah. So if you have any sort of reservations, I'm here to tell you this works. The only regret I have is I didn't know about it sooner. And this is how success comes in a hurry, when you get your subconscious and your conscious working together for you. I'm now on the Wall of Fame in less than 3 years. Thanks again, Noah.
Oh, that's great testimonial.
Yeah. So, I mean,
That's
literally,
incredible.
And he had been doing, he'd been studying for years and years. I mean, he told me over 30 years that he'd been studying. And, he came to one of our 3-day events, which was a live event. Now we do it virtually. But now, I mean, he literally said, no, you taught me more in a weekend than I've learned in the past 30 years of going to all these guys. I'm like,
wow.
And I mean, the results speak for themselves, obviously. So, and like I always say, if it worked for me, if it worked for people like Bill and Stephen and so many others, why not you, right? Everybody watching, and this is another great quote that I really love. If you want something you never had, you got to do something you've never done. Isn't that, it just makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Right? Because if you doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results, so just picture your life 12 weeks from now, 12 months from now, once you have taken out the head trash, once you've incorporated these habits that we teach. So now, Josh, we wanted to invite folks here to show you how to turn today's information into lasting transformation, because really, like I said, information doesn't create change. It's really all about that transformation, right? So, for those of you here, you really have two choices when it comes to implementing my 12-week rapid abundance breakthrough method. That's what we call it, the RAP method. You can do it yourself. You can try to figure out, by yourself if you want to, or you can do it with me. So you can accelerate your results a lot faster with a lot less time, effort, and stress. So either way, these are the 3 phases that that you would need to implement. So we do it in a 3-phase process. And the first 4 weeks, we call it Take Out Your Head Trash About Money, right? That's where I really go deep into teaching you my forgotten wealth secret to 10 or 20x your results by gaining laser-like clarity on what you can stop doing and why you're still doing it. Isn't it true that so many times we think we got to do more? It's actually the opposite. So what we teach is what you can stop doing and why. And that's
addition from subtraction.
Got it. Exactly. And so that's the first 4 weeks. Then the weeks 5 through 8 is the RAP factor, the rapid abundance programming. And that's where I teach you how to become unstoppable by destroying distractions, eliminating excuses, and pulverizing procrastination. Now, that's just fun to say, right? And it's really, really fun to do too. All right. And then weeks 9 through 12 is the automatic transformation method, or ATM, right? Ka-ching, right? So you embed these effortless habits so you can experience automatic success, like really so many of my clients are getting. So what we're inviting you to join us here today, Josh and I, is what is called my Iconic Power Habits Academy. All right. So this is where it's an online learning academy and you get lifetime access, and it's an ultra fast focus on results. And these are my legendary $2.7 billion success strategies. I mean, you've heard just a few of them, but there are so many more. So the point is I've helped people make literally billions of dollars over the last 25 years. So you're going to get the right ways to reach your goals faster so you can spend 90% of your time doing what you love. How to stop stepping over thousands of dollars every time you step in the office so you can work 1 to 3 hours less and still awake or less and make thousands more, maybe tens of thousands more, right? Why almost all gurus are showing you the wrong way to change your life, how to do it the right way. It's up to 5, maybe 10 times easier and faster. And little known secrets to increase your impact and income, even if you've failed in the past, which, we've all failed, right? So how small adjustments equal big results for you. That means you're going to save an enormous amount of time and money. You're going to avoid the number one mistake that people make that makes people unconsciously say no to you. You may be doing this unconsciously. Most people are. They don't even know they're doing it. And so we actually show you how to do that. And then you flip that around. You're like, oh my gosh, people just start saying yes, yes, yes all the time. It feels really good, right? Better than no. And then that means clients and customers will magnetically attract you. You can finally attract the abundance. It's just sitting there waiting for you just to take it, right? And I'll give you my number one strategy to stop procrastinating and eliminate that shiny object syndrome, right? That distraction that we talked about, once and for all, right? So a day with me is $25,000, and people pay that because I've helped people make, billions of dollars, certainly millions and millions of dollars individually and then billions collectively. So you're going to get my iconic Power Habits Academy so you can master the unconscious habits of the top 0.1%. Now that's a $5,000 value. Now, because you're here, you're also going to get my Power Habits Toolkit. This is the same formula that I teach my 50K clients so you can stop stopping yourself from the success you're capable of. You're also going to get my Making Success Automatic Playbook. So you can stop trying to figure it out all on your own, right? And put your success on autopilot without even having to use willpower. You don't have to psych yourself up. You don't have to use willpower. All that stuff they're telling you, you really do not need to do that. It's so much easier when you do it this way. Also, my 10x Your Results Blueprint, my proven time-tested methods so you can attract more abundance while working a lot less. And also my Thought Leaders Manual. I have exclusive interviews with some of the world's top thought leaders like Jack Canfield, John Assaraf, Ray Higdon, so many people like that. And how
that's great.
So many people had 6 and 7 and yes, even 8 figures. So you're going to get all of this Power Habits Academy, my Power Habits Toolkit, so you can accelerate your success, my automatic playbooks. You can stop using willpower and motivation. You just don't need those. I'm not saying they're wrong. You just don't need to do them anymore. 10x Your Results Blueprint. You can attract more abundance while working less. And my Thought Leaders Manual, so you can learn from the biggest names in the industry, over $14,000 of value. So if all this did was help you get rid of your head trash about money once and for all, so you stop paying that $5,000 or $10,000 each and every month, that 6 figures a year that you're probably paying right now just because you're holding yourself back, wouldn't that be worth it? If all it did was help you stop procrastinating and attract more abundance in your life and your business, your career, wouldn't that be worth it? If all it did was empowered you to do more of what you love and make more money doing it, especially right now with everything going on, wouldn't that be worth every penny? So what I love to do, Josh, you know me, you've known me for a while. You know, I like to over deliver, right? Because I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can to thrive, especially now in these challenging times. So you're going to get everything you see here: Power Habits Academy, my Power Habits Toolkit, the playbook, 10x Your Results, my Thought Leaders Manual, over $14,000 of value. Normally it's $2,500, but because you're watching this right now, it's just $997, just one payment. Of just $997. Okay. So all you have to do is go to this link that you see on your screen here. It's noahstjohn.com/Josh. Very easy to remember, right? So it's both of our names, right? noahstjohn.com/Josh, right? And you're going to get this special discount. By the way, make sure you go to that link, because if you go to the regular link, you are going to pay, you're going to pay full price. Exactly.
Okay. Well, and thank you for doing that, Noah. I really appreciate that.
Well, we're still not done. I want to still add more value. So the first 5 of you that joined today, you're going to get a bonus one-on-one coaching session with me. All right. Because I really, really love to over deliver. We can talk about anything you like, whether it's beliefs, habits, offers, funnels, traffic, inner game, outer game, lifestyle, head trash, whatever you want to do. So for the first 5 of you, you're going to get that bonus one-on-one coaching session with me. All right. So again, just go to noahstjohn.com/Josh, and we'll, we track everything, of course, and, we'll know who the first 5 are. All right. So there you go. And really, what I love to show you is, if it helped me go from this growing up poor in a rich neighborhood, starting literally with nothing in basement number 1, then having less than nothing in basement number 2, 10 years later, to where we are today, in a pretty amazing success manner. Imagine what it can do for you. And so, I talk about who this isn't for. I think that's kind of obvious. It's not for get rich quick or people who like doing everything themselves. It is right for people who are doing okay, but they're really dissatisfied. Maybe there's that next level that you really want to get to, and you're not quite sure how to get there. Maybe you're feeling a little overworked. And if you want to make more in the next 12 weeks than you did in the last 12 months without having to figure it out on your own. So normally I take questions here, but, I'm happy to just, we can kind of, any questions you might have, Josh, feel free to, let me know. And then I'll just, what I'll do is I'll put up the slide here for that URL again. Okay.
Yeah, that was quite an offer. A lot of bonuses in there. Could you pull up the all the items there that you're getting again in the offer? Because I've never seen you do this before. I've seen you present a couple times, but that's really appreciate you loading all the bonuses in there for our audience today.
Sure, you got it. All right, so here it is right here. Whoops. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second.
Sure.
It's sometimes a little weird. There it is. Okay, so here's everything you're going to get. Yeah, the academy, the toolkit, the playbook. Come on. The thought leaders manual, everything like that. Plus, remember, the first 5 do get the one-on-one coaching session with me. Now, let's face it, just that one-on-one coaching session alone, I sell that for $1,000.
Yeah.
Every day. So, you're getting all that plus this. It's kind of what we like to call a no-brainer, right?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Really. We've had just well over 1,000 people go through this program, and it's really my most popular inner game course. Inner game meaning everything that happens up here, right?
Yep.
But that's what we have to clear up before we can see the outer success. Everybody's focused on the outer success, which, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying it doesn't work that way. It's like trying to build a house on the 3rd floor, right?
Yeah.
You got to start with a foundation. This is the foundation of everything, of all success. And that's why we have these incredible success stories that we have.
That's great. And is there like a specific time that this class launches, or can anybody start at any point in time throughout the year?
Yeah, it's evergreen. So it's you can start anytime throughout the year. And again, the first 5 will get that coaching session, and then, my team will reach out to you. You can just book that through my booking link. And it's very, very simple. But, what we like to say, Josh, is we are a customer service company that does business and personal growth. We're not a business and personal growth company that has customer service. So that's one of the reasons that I've been in business for, 25 years. This is my 25th year in business. And, what's amazing is, with the pandemic and everything going on, we're still up 300% just from last year alone. And I think one of the reasons is because people are looking for something that's real. They're looking for something that works, and they're looking for something that's fast, right? We all want fast results, don't we? We don't want it to take forever. And we've seen again, I showed you just a few of the hundreds and hundreds of success stories. And what people are shocked by oftentimes is how fast it really works. But it makes sense though, because if you're holding yourself back from success and you keep trying to pound it from the outside, it just can never work. So we take the exact opposite approach, and we go from the inside out. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have to work so hard, and I'm making, 5-10 times more in a very short amount of time. And people get pretty excited about that.
That's awesome. Yeah. I remember the analogy you used last time talking about driving the car with your foot on the brake. And it doesn't matter your wheels, doesn't matter the engine, it doesn't matter the gas that you put in it, all these other things that people is a great analogy for people going out and trying to fix the other stuff versus just the methodology that they're doing. Driving a vehicle with your foot on the brake, you're just going to slow yourself down. So
what every other guru also is saying, not just, that is, they're telling you to step on the gas harder.
Yeah.
They're literally saying, get motivated, think of your goals, look at all that money you're going to make. And I'm like, none of that makes any difference. Again, I'm not saying it's wrong, but if you are driving down the road with one foot on the brake and somebody tells you to step on the gas harder, what's going to be the result? You're just going to ruin your car faster.
Yep.
Right. And so what I do is I go, did you know you have your foot on the brake? And they're like, no. I say, did you know once we get your foot off the brake, you're actually going to reach your goals a lot faster and easier? And they go, really? And I said, yeah, that's how we help people make more in 12 weeks than they did in the last 12 months, because you're not fighting yourself anymore. You're working with the natural flow of energy and, frankly, the natural flow of abundance that's just sitting there waiting for you. And they go, where do I sign?
Yep. Well, like you said at the very beginning, this is a lot of great information, Noah. We really appreciate you opening up and kind of sharing some of the secrets with us. But the other point that you made, and I made with you, is that it's about taking action, right? So if you're ready, if this sounds like something that you're ready to move forward with, noahstjohn.com/Josh. Again, thank you so much, Noah, for creating that custom coupon code for us so that we could bring that price down significantly. So it's all about taking action at this point. If this sounds like something that you want to learn more about, go to that website right there, drop your information in. Hopefully you're one of the first 5 so you can actually get to hang out and interact with Noah. I tell you, he's part of one of my business masterminds, so I get to see him probably about once a quarter and get to have lunches and dinners and drinks and dive a little bit deeper in these conversations. And I can definitely vouch for the time spent around Noah is very productive and profitable. So highly encourage you guys to go to the URL there.
In fact, let me just real quick, if I may, I'll show you what happens when you go to the page. Here's what you're going to see. Can you still see my screen? Yeah. So here it is. Here's how to make more in the next 12 weeks. You made in the last 12 months without the uphill battle, literally while gaining, 1 to 3 hours a day and 4 to 8 weeks a year. So just think about that for a second, everyone. what are you going to do with all that extra time? Right. And you say, oh, well, I mean, I'd travel more. I'd spend more time with my family, my kids, my grandkids, nieces, nephews, whatever it might be. Well, that's the whole point, is that money is awesome, but time is better. Right. If you're just working all day and night, and yes, you're bringing in the money, that's fine. But is that really the life that you want? Right. So what's nice is when you have the time, the energy, the relationships, and the money, that's what we call my freedom lifestyle formula. And that's really what we help you do too. And so anyway, you could, see the page here. This is Mike Filsame. He's an 8-figure company CEO. And he says that my coaching starts where Think and Grow Rich and the secret left off. I mean, that's really an honor, especially from someone as successful as that. You can watch some of these other videos. We've got tons of success stories. There's Bill that I showed you. I mean, Adam went from 4 million to 20 million in sales. It just goes on and on. There's, celebrities we talked about, Jenny and Gary V, Jack Canfield, and so on. So you'll see everything you get here. There's the 3 phases I talked about. There's everything you're going to get. And again, more testimonials, more success stories. There's some Q&A here, like what do you get when you join the program? If I sign up for other courses, don't finish them. And that's ironically, that's the very thing that I fix in this program, right? Remember I said, this is the only program that fixes every other program, or the only coaching that fixes every other coaching. That is the very point. This is in fact why you do that. And nobody else is talking about this. And it is self-directed. Oh, by the way, people ask me all the time, how long does it take? And the answer is about 10 minutes a day. This is not, staring at your navel for an hour and a half every day. It's not, chanting and home and all this. No, nothing wrong with those things. I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying you don't need to do that. It takes literally about 10 minutes a day. So, people say, well, no, I don't have the time. And if I say to them, if you don't have 10 minutes a day to change your life, I guess you don't want it that bad. 10 minutes a day? Really? To change your life, to get the results like we're talking about here? Again, I'm busy. I don't have time for this. What if I don't know what my niche or purpose or passion is? Will this work for me if I don't have a business? Yes, definitely. You do not have to own a business for this to work for you. Because again, remember, wherever you go, there you are. And, some other questions like that. So the class starts as soon as you join. There's just a little about me. Again, more and more stories. We got so many more. And there you go. I mean, there you go. So anyway, it's right there. Oh, and by the way, just want to mention real quick here, the paid in full discount is that $997. We do also have a 3-payment option if you'd like to pay as you go. So there's a 3-payment option. So you can literally get started today for just $397. And then also, I'll just mention this real quick. We do have a PayPal credit. If you would like to do it on PayPal credit, that is where you actually get 6 months, no payments, no interest. So what you would do is you would just go there and you see that PayPal credit button there. You can do that too if you would like. So that's again, great. Lots of options for you. And happy to, again, we're going to take great care of you because Josh is a dear friend and mastermind partner. So just let us know that you came from Josh and we'll know because you're at this special link. I mean, this is not available, again, it's actually twice as much if you go on the regular website. So make sure you go here and, we will take great care.
Awesome. No, I love looking at all your stuff now. I mean, you've been doing this for so long and you've got these wonderful programs, everything's so polished and professional, and you've been gathering all these wonderful testimonials. I'm going to have to steal the show here and share my screen for a second because I love this video. This is one of the first videos that I ever saw about you whenever you mentioned that you knew Gary V. And it's this, I'm just going to play it. I know you've seen this.
Yeah. Hey Faithful, it's Gary V, Nerd Chuck, here with your main man, Noah. We're having a great time. We're on the way to the book signing. And, I'm just really hearing a lot about you guys. And, I have a great community too that my guys are called the Vaniacs. And, it's just, it's an amazing feeling to have people care about what you do. And so I want to thank you on behalf of Noah because I know what he feels about you guys, because I know that feeling, and it's just an amazing feeling. And it's just extremely special that you're following somebody, and this guy has a lot of heart and a lot of ambition, and hopefully he's teaching you something. I'm not so sure.
I don't know. I hope so.
And I wish you all well, and I hope that we get to cross paths someday and we can kick a little and talk a little vino, maybe a little Jets football, and I wish you guys all well. So Faithful, take care.
That's awesome, man. It's cool seeing Gary V from way back in the day and then seeing you from way back in the day. How long ago was that he came in town?
Well, that was when he was still doing wine libraries. He talked about wine there. And that had to have been 2008, that long ago. So over
a lifetime ago almost.
A lifetime ago online.
A lot has changed in the world.
Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, I literally this today when we're recording this happens to be my 55th birthday. So I've been doing this 25 years now. It's my 25th year in business. And I'm excited because what gets me excited, what we talked about earlier, Josh, is seeing, people just light up, people when they change their lives, when you have that emotion, when you have when you have those results, and then when people just say, you changed my life. And there's just no better feeling than that, as you well know.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again, Noah, for joining us today. This was a special episode of rokrbox TV, a little bit more of a deeper dive in some wonderful information here. But for those of you who want more information, you've got the URL, noahstjohn.com/Josh. Or if you want to just shoot me an email and see how I could maybe get you in touch with Noah, it's josh@rokrbox.com. But Noah, thanks again, man. I'll probably see you here in the next couple of months at another event, and looking forward to it.
Thank you, Josh. Great to be here. And thanks again. And for everybody again, we'll look forward to taking great care of you.
Thank you, Noah. Take care.